We'll begin with matters that are likely to play out at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. We are hoping today is D-Day for Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo to finally make a pronouncement on the application that he recused himself, that application being brought forward, of course, by former President Jacob Zuma. The application judgment was expected yesterday, but Raymond Zondo saying he needed a bit more time to mull over it. What we're also expecting today is Advocate Muziska Kane, that's the legal counsel for the former president, to give Zuma's version of what he makes of the type of relations he had with Raymond Zondo. You remember on Monday, it was Raymond Zondo who detailed the nature of the relationship as far as he understood it, and of course many people not missing out on the headline that Zondo is insistent that in fact he is not friends with former President Jacob Zuma, outlining things like the former president has never been to any of our burials, has in fact never been to any of my birthday celebrations, and that's Zondo, saying he's never been to the former president's important life moments too. So we'll help you better understand that, contextualize it for you throughout the day. Tomorrow on that story, certainly worth your attention. We'll also be checking up with the families of the victims of the Lily mine tragedy. You'll remember this moment back in 2016 where several miners were trapped underground. The families have been really at pains to try to get those family members back to the surface and have been met with all kinds of obstacles in the lead up to today. What we're expecting today is that those family members are actually expected to meet with the business rescue practitioners of Lily Mine. That gathering, we're told, will take place in Sandton, and hopefully they'll be able to get a better understanding of, call it the strategy, the methods through which their families' bodies will be retrieved from underground. It's been 4 years of waiting, and there's absolutely no overstating the amount of anguish that some of these families might be feeling. It's a story we followed quite closely here at Newzroom Afrika. We'll certainly continue doing that for you throughout the course of today. We're also expecting UDM leader Bantu Holomisa to be addressing Parliament today. He's going to detail the nature of the alleged corruption that took place at the Development Bank of Southern Africa. The UDM leader has been quite vocal in many ways, being met with backlash in some instances over the alleged corruption that's taking place at DBSA. Among the people that have been implicated is former Deputy Minister and Chair of DBSA, that's Enoch Kondondwana, who has actually been said, according to the UDM leader, to be running DBSA as his personal spaza shop. Of course, we're expecting more details on that. Our business reporter, Hosi Tom, is on that story. Look out for those details on the channel. We'll also take you to Mpumalanga. That's where we're expecting a peaceful march by a group of visually impaired people who are hoping to raise awareness around the ways through which they are continuously being marginalized and discriminated against, at least insofar as economic opportunities are concerned. Often, we need to take time to reflect on the plight of individuals in our society who have difficulties beyond their control and how we as a country are responding to those difficulties. And we're taking a moment to do exactly that today. Some of the individuals that have been protesting have made an appeal to allies of their plight to join that protest. However, the condition is that they must blindfold themselves, and then they'll be allowed to be part of this demonstration. It's a protest action that isn't necessarily targeted at any individual or any building, but a moment of just raising awareness. Certainly a moment that I think as a country we need to pause and reflect upon. That's why Mwili Masilela will be in Mbombela for us, helping us capture their sentiments. And then, of course, the big story of the day is around this looming national taxi shutdown. There are aspects of it that will certainly materialize in Gauteng. In fact, we're expecting members of several taxi associations to be marching to the union buildings, as well as to the office of Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula. However, this is a national taxi strike, and the impact it's likely to have is obviously cannot be overstated. At this stage, there's still no way of gauging just how widespread the ramifications will be. It's still the early hours of this morning, but our reporters are already on the ground gauging the pulse, if you like, of the situation. We'll continue bringing you those sentiments throughout the course of the day. At the heart of this is that 1.3 billion rand COVID-19 relief, you might remember, that government made an undertaking to pay to some of the taxi operators. according to these taxi organizations, this money hasn't necessarily come through yet, and now they're worried that it might have been lost to corruption. So several questions that I think government also needs to answer. We'll pose those questions to those government officials throughout the course of the day.